How to book a speaking opportunity. Now, I will professionally speak at a few business conferences here and there throughout the year, and I will get people to DM me on Instagram and say, how do I start to speak on stage? How do I get to do what it is you're doing? So I've got a few tips that I want to share with you. So first, number one is just get out there and get started, which might mean being okay with doing it for free, flying yourself out to the conference in California, paying for your own hotel. Yes, meaning you're inquiring those expenses, maybe saying yes to anything local, your kid's school, the college, the local university, speaking to 25 college kids. That is going to help you just get confidence and get you moving in the right direction. So be okay with local or possibly paying for yourself to go fly somewhere to get to speak or be on stage. Tip number two, really ask yourself, what are going to be my signature talks or topics? In the beginning, when I was starting to say yes, I would say yes to anything and I would let them pick the topic for me. That can be a nightmare, creating a presentation from scratch with brand new slides, new content, research. Oh man, it can take a lot of time. So even when you hear people are making $5,000 for a talk, $10,000, $50,000, $100,000 for a 90-minute presentation, and you're thinking, oh wow, that's such a good, I can't believe how much money they're making. You have no idea how much prep work is involved, how much practice is involved, what that looks like. So the best way to make the most out of your time while you're not on stage is coming up with 1, 2, 3, no more than 5 signature talks. So when somebody says, hey, I'd love to have you come and speak on our stage, you can say, I'd love to. Here are my signature talks that I typically do. Let me know which one is best for you. So in the beginning, you might have one talk, and then eventually you might add a second, right? So start to build that up and really ask yourself, what am I teaching? And what is in alignment with what I sell? And when somebody asks me to teach on something that I don't normally teach on, what happens is I create demand in the audience. They go to my website to maybe buy something after, and I have nothing to sell them in that category. So it actually not only hurts you, it disappoints them. So get something in alignment with what it is you sell. My next tip is to really start to practice and hone in on those topics and that talk. So what I would recommend, I get a lot of opportunities from YouTube and from my podcast. Why? Because they can see that I have a specific topic that I talk about, and that I'm maybe at least good enough on camera or good enough with what I'm saying for them to say, I want to hire her, right? So YouTube and podcasting is a great place to get started if you want to start to build authority. I have had people say, we've watched a bunch of your YouTube videos and we think you'd be a great fit for this. Or somebody has been listening to your podcast for 6 months on our team and recommended you as our keynote speaker. That is the kind of stuff that is happening from those platforms. And they're great places to practice and refine what it is you're going to talk about on stage. And my last part about this is just tell people. People cannot read your minds. If you want to be on stage and you've never been on stage before, how would anybody know? If you've spoken once or twice and it really wasn't a public thing, no one knows that's what you're trying to do. So put a post on social media, let people know. Say, hey, I've got an opportunity for 5 speaking gigs in the next 12 months. If you're interested in looking for somebody to talk about XYZ, please reach out and we'll see if it fits on the calendar. Literally saying something like that is going to be a great way to let people know what it is you want to do. If you want to speak at a certain event, go start participating at that event. Reach out to the organization and let them know how much you like it and enjoy it and how you could bring value to their stage. The more people are embraced or involved in that community, it's so much easier to get a yes from the event coordinator. And as you're on stage, just know that there's going to be opportunities that come your way. So speaking events lead to more speaking events. The last one that I just did actually here in Milwaukee, there's about 300 people in the audience. And from there, I had 4 different people pitch me either in the hallway or shoot me an email or an Instagram DM afterwards saying, hey, I also have an event coming up in the next few months. Would you be willing to speak on this topic? So just know that the more you start to do, the more things will come your way. All right, so fill me in. Have you done a speaking event before, or is this something new you are trying to get? Tell me in the comments below. And then I really want you starting to figure out, what are those signature talks going to be? How do I start to practice? You might be thinking, I don't even know what I would talk about yet. Go look at the content you've already been putting out. What are you saying on social media? What are you writing in your emails? Start to grab things that are common themes that you realize, wow, this is something that's a passion of mine that I love to share and talk about. All right, I cannot wait to hear from you. Make sure to hit like if you like this video and got value out of it.